Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am back with a fun folio that I've made. Let me show it to you, and it's using a brand new paper kit that I made. It was a special request from Lisa. Hey Lisa, who is on my design team. She was asking for a kit that had some sea turtles in it. Look at the baby sea turtles. So I don't think she knew at the time. I'm just going to flip it open and show you guys a few things in here. But I have had a turtle collection since I was 8. My mom went on a trip with my dad and came back. There's a manatee. And had brought me these 3 little turtles. And so that started a lifelong collection, and they're very special to me. So that was right up my alley. When she said sea turtles, I love all kinds of turtles, but sea turtles definitely, because I love the beach and the ocean. So this one is called Sea Turtles and Friends, because the sea turtle has friends. So there's a crab, seahorses, manatees. Let's see what else. Baby sea turtles. It opens like this. Of course, we have journaling space on those. There's a sand dollar. Anyway, I am thrilled with it. Here's some sea glass, some different things. And I made this folio with some pieces from the kit, from some of the envelopes. So I've cut some of the envelopes out, and I'm going to show you how I made this folio. The kit itself, I don't have the full kit printed because I've been I've been using it, but here's some pages. There's pages that have tags. There are 2 pages of fussy cuts this size, and then a page of fussy cuts, the same ones but a smaller size for you guys. I love this page with these faux stamps. And then lots of journaling pages and some background pages and just some different things. So mostly featuring sea turtles, but then a few other friends and some backing pages in case you want to use these colors, or you could just go with any kind of neutral, I guess. So we are going to play. I have cut out a bunch of the pieces for us, and I'm going to show you a couple of little tricks how I cut out these larger stamps. And anyway, I think we'll have fun today playing with it. You can find it in my Etsy shop. It's a digital kit. I also have a print and ship version, so I'll link those in the description below. Okay, now the key is I have to remember how I did this. So the first thing is I cut one of the journaling pages down to a specific size that coordinates with these envelopes. So the first thing you're going to need to do, whatever paper you choose to use, if you want to make this, if you have some of your own envelopes, now yours may be different sizes, right? But the basic concept will work, and you'll be able to figure it out. So 2 pieces of paper that measure 5 1/4 by 5 5/8. And again, that is because I measured the envelopes, and the envelope is 5 5/8, and then I wanted them to overlap like this. Either way they could go. All right. Okay, so 2 of those. One will be the back of your journal, and one, so the back, and then one will be this inside back panel. And I actually cut out the sand dollar from one of the journaling pages to be my little pocket tuck spot here. So we'll see what we end up doing with the one we make, but that's what these 2 pieces are for. And then you need 2 of there's 2 large envelopes. We're going to use the same ones, 1 of each. And then of the smaller envelopes, there's these 2 and these 2. I used 2 of them as flips. I stuck 1 in a pocket, and then I had 1 left. So you basically need 2 of the smaller envelopes, and then if you want to put 1 in a pocket, a third one, but 2 for the kit. Now these I've already cut out, and I already cut out the side flaps on the large ones just because I was cutting. Oh, I didn't cut out this one, right? Okay, so I don't need them for this project. So instead of leaving them, you know, I just cut them off. So basically I have papers. We can use those for something if we want to, that look like this. All right. Now, if you have an envelope, it doesn't have to be this shape, you know, that you could just open up, or from another kit, and it should work. You may have to then measure your envelope to decide how big your backing piece needs to be. I am going to take my ruler and find my bone folder. I'm going to go ahead and just score these larger envelopes where we would fold them. So I need a score here and here. And these colors are very different, but I think they coordinated well enough. If you don't want to do that, you could print two or use, you know, a different envelope. Now this one, it would have been easier if I had waited to cut my little tabs off to see where I need to score this. All right, so I think it's right here. Be close enough. And then, yeah, I can see the line now. Okay, it's hard to see, but there is a line right there. And again, when you have these tabs, you just go right to that corner and you know it comes right across. All right, I hope I didn't confuse you. All right, I am going to go ahead and just fold these where I scored them. One of them will end up being a flip out, and one will end up being a pocket. I just have to decide, you know, which one. All right, I love the colors on this kit, and I hope you guys do too. If so, make sure you let me know, and if you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment, all those good things. All right, now we're gonna start with the piece. Don't worry about the piece that's gonna be the full back. You wanna just set that aside because we're gonna use it after we get everything else layered on. But this is the inside back panel, and these should fit on here just like this. All right. And again, we can decide which one do we want to flip open, which one do we want to make into a pocket. My prototype I did just like this. So we could, if we want to, just for funsies, we could flip it around this way, right? And have the turtle facing that way, or have this one on top. All right, I kind of like this turtle on top because when it covers up the baby sea turtles, you basically just get that sunset when you're looking at it. So it really doesn't matter. But I will do it the opposite way because why not, right? Okay, so I do want to do a little bit of inking before I glue, and then we'll glue these to that panel, and then we'll do the little envelopes that are the flip downs on the inside. Be fun. Now, this is going to get glued down, and we're not even going to see it, so I'm not going to worry about inking it, but I am going to ink all these other sides. And again, if you don't want to ink, you don't have to. Do what makes you happy. Okay, so there's one, and I'll get this one real quick. And again, I can always add more ink later. So if you are listening and you want to, drop me a comment and tell me, you know, do you have a favorite animal, or whether it's like a household pet kind of animal, a wild animal, an animal you find in the zoo, in the ocean. Like, do you have a favorite animal? I love turtles, and like I said, I've been collecting them since I was 8. I at one point had a live turtle when I was a child. Her name was Kelly. She was a little water turtle. And then my stepdaughter Julie had a tortoise for a while. She was rehomed a couple of years ago when Julie was ready to go off to college, actually to a small reptile nonprofit where people can come in and interact with them and everything. So that was a good place for Tilly, I think. Okay. It doesn't really matter which one we glue down first, but you just want it to line up really nicely. So I've got it lined up. This is going to be the inside back. And we'll do this one first. So I know I have it where I want it. I'm going to put glue on this entire panel. And again, you're not going to see this. It's going to get covered up. So you don't have to worry too much, but you do want it stuck down. And it'll get sandwiched on there with another piece of paper. All right. Now this one, I want this way. So again, just make sure everything is lined up nice and even. And then add glue to this panel. And I did print these on both sides, which does make it easier, in my opinion. A little bit easier. There we go. Okay. Fun. And I've done envelope ones where on the back panel, I think they were envelopes that had a pointy, not the round, on the flap that opens and closes. But we did them so you could use that as a tuck spot. I'll have to do something like that again. That was fun. I just thought of it when I looked at those. All right, one of these is going to be a flip and one is going to be a pocket. I think I'm going to do the same thing I did before and make the right-hand side a pocket, but now I'm thinking I may even put some kind of tab or something here. And then this one will be the one that opens up. So let's just go ahead and glue this down so that I know I have it glued down. So glue just along those two edges. And now we have a side load pocket. We'll leave this one. All right, now we need 2 of the smaller envelopes and we can decide which ones we want to use. All right, I've already used the large one that looks like this. So I think I'm going to use this one. And this is how I decided last time too. And I'll use this one so that I have 4 different designs. Now, just like with the big one, I don't need those side flaps. So I'm going to cut them off, but I did not cut them off ahead of time because I wasn't really sure which one I was going to use. But I'm going to go ahead and just cut them off. So again, if you don't have envelopes, I just thought of this. You could just use a piece of paper, a rectangle. It doesn't have to have this. You could just round the corners or something. So again, if you just like this flippy folio and you don't have envelopes or a kit with envelopes that you want to use, you could just cut yourself some paper. All right. Now again, I need to crease these, score them and fold them so that I can make them into the flips. This one is just a touch harder, but there's the line. All right, and same thing on this one. And you could lay these in your scoreboard if you wanted to. And just line it up where you need to score it. Okay. Funness. These types of projects make me happy. There's a little bit to knowing where to place each piece, but they're easy and cute and fun. There it is. I didn't score very hard and it wasn't wanting to fold. Okay, now set that out of the way. Okay, one is going to, I think, be like this, so that, no, wait, it's not how I did it. Hold on. I had it like this. Maybe it was this way. Now I wanted, give me 1 second. All right, here it is. Ha! Okay, so at the top, we have the rounded piece. The flap's going to get glued to the back again, and then it's going to open like this, and we're going to see those lovely sea turtles. And then this one will go like this. There we go. So that when we pull it down, the turtle is going in the correct direction. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you. So when you have your envelopes, normally you'd fold them up like this, right? This one, I want the turtles to be in the correct direction, and I want to see this flap on the front. So I'm going to turn it actually upside down. So my turtles are upside down. This is the flap that's going to get glued. Did it backwards. Sorry. That is the flap that's going to get glued. But just start over. Just stick with me for a second. Turn it the right way, face up. This piece will get glued. The turtles will fold down. The fancy flap will go up. All right. That's all there is to it. This one, again, have it facing the correct way, not upside down. Face up. Now the fancy tab's the one that's going to get glued. The turtle's going to fold up, and the flap's going to come down with the coral on it. All right. I hope that was clear. If you need to rewind and go back and look at it, go ahead. I'm going to try not to confuse you guys by doing it over and over. But I am going to get it glued down. And as I glue it down, I will say it one more time. And I did add some layered neutral paper for some journaling. And I may do that on this one too. Okay, so we have it the correct way. We're going to put this flap that'll be glued to the back panel, turtles down, flap up. And then let me get this one inked. Remembering which ones we're going to see and which parts we're not going to see and all of that jazz. Okay. Good enough. All right, again, we want it exactly face up, right direction. Now the top flap's going to go under, turtle up, flap down. All right. Now, for me, the big thing is just doing my best. Looks like that glue stuck there. To get it centered. And I'm going to just do the first one, and then we'll do the second one. So I feel like it's centered pretty well left to right. You can measure and mark it if you want to. I'm going to flip it upside down. This is where my folio folds. You guys can see it, so hopefully it's centered from here to here. And I'm going to add glue to this panel right along the bottom and this panel. And again, it's going to get sandwiched in, but you don't want it to go anywhere. Okay, flip it back up. All right, we're good. Now, this one, top flap is what's going to hold it together, bottom flap, and let's just get it lined up as best we can with the one we've already glued down, right? Flip it over, and we're going to glue it on this panel. All right, I hope I didn't lose anyone. It's really just using the flap to attach it to the back of the folio, and all the flipping around and figuring out which way had to do with the images being oriented correctly. And again, if you're using plain envelopes or envelopes that won't be upside down, it doesn't matter, then you can just glue them down. All right, for the journaling spaces, I used just some plain index card. I'm looking for my little tear ruler because I did like the little edges. So what I want, unfortunately, of course, it's not wide enough this way, but what I want is a piece to cover this panel, I did this panel and this panel, just because I liked the contrast of the creamy color, and I liked the idea, just, you know, that it's kind of framed out and writing on a little more neutral paper. This is light enough, of course, you can write on if you want to skip this step. That wasn't fun, the way that tore. Come on, card. Just keep going until I get a better edge. Okay. So, wasn't thinking that I needed to tear this edge too. I'm struggling a little bit, but it'll be okay. All right. And I want just a little off of the bottom here. There we go. All right, I need 2 that are approximately that size. And then 2 smaller ones. And again, you can use any type of neutral paper. It doesn't have to be these index cards. I just thought these colors were so close to this color that it worked really nicely. And I will say the backing papers that I provided in these kits, there wasn't a creamy color. They were all like in the blues and the green shades. But you can use a backing paper, you know, from any kit that you have that you would like to use. Okay, almost have this ready to go. All right, one here and one here. I'm just going to add a touch of ink, and we'll go ahead and glue these down. Then we'll tear the other 2, and then we can keep decorating. I'm going to show you how to finish the back with the ribbon closure. It's not hard, in case you want to do that. Yeah, I just think this makes it a little more finished. And I found it a little easier to go ahead and do this layering before I did that ribbon closure. Just that way it's not up under there and in my way. Okay. Cuteness. And again, unfortunately, those are not big enough. So I am going to, again, I should be able to get both of these out of one card though, if I'm careful with my tearing. All right, let me get it to the correct width. All right, get all of these out of my way. And then I'm going to, there's one. And then this one, I can just tear that straight edge off, and I think it will fit. I think I tore enough. Yes, it will fit right there. All right, we'll get these glued down. So I used on the prototype some of my seam binding ribbon, and I think it looked really cute. I will see if I have another piece that will work that's long enough. If not, I thought I might play with like this piece. It's a little too wide. Maybe we'll use this anyway, just because it is so pretty, but I'll decide here in a second. But you could use seam binding, you could use other ribbon. I think you could do like a piece of twine. And of course there's other closures, and you don't even have to have a closure if you don't want a closure. So I like that little bit of extra because it makes me happy. Oh gosh. My spongy was shedding a little bit. Okay. how nice that is. All right, those will start laying down a little bit more here soon. All right, we're gonna flip it over. Now, I'm not gluing it down yet, but this is going to be the back. Isn't that pretty that I kept that turtle for the back? And he should glue very close to perfect on the back. I'm gonna go ahead and get it inked just a touch. And you can decorate this more if you want to, or add a pocket or whatever. But I'm just gonna leave it like this. Okay, it's gonna go right there. So what I do is then I put my ribbon back here. And again, I think I want to cut this one in half. And then we can do a tie closure, just like we did with the seam binding. Isn't that pretty? I think they both work. So we'll use this just to be different. And I'm not sure how long I need it to be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the whole length. I know this is really fun watching me do this, right? There's probably an easier or better way to do this. I am glad that I have these scissors that I'm trying to save just for ribbon and fabric right now, because it does make a difference having a nice pair of sharp scissors. You're going through something that is this sheer, you know, or this fine. Let's see if I can get it. I thought about getting one of those cutters that looks like a pizza cutter, but again, I'm not sure I could hold this flat enough for it to really matter anyway. I don't do a ton, well, I don't really sew, as you guys know. And I'm starting to use, I think, more fabrics and things, trying to incorporate some more textures. I did watch a video yesterday. Oh, I haven't even told you guys. So we were without power from like 6 o'clock last night until about 10 a.m. this morning, and it is hot. If I have not mentioned that it is hot in Virginia this summer, it is hot. It was a miserable evening, but we survived and we now have power back. Yay. And I was able to get my craft room and do a video, so life is good. But what was I going to tell you guys? Something about not having power. Oh gosh. Well, that just jumped out of my head. Sorry. Oh gosh, maybe I'll think of it here in a minute. If not, somebody leave me a comment and then I'll try to finish that thought for you guys. Let's just tie this and see if we like it before we're committed to gluing it all together. All right, I definitely don't need it that long. I love the color. I like it at this thickness. Shorten it a bit. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And I am happy now to tell you guys what the length of my ribbon ended up being. My chopped up beautiful piece of Sari silk ribbon is, that's 23, like 28.5 inches. So you do 29 inches, probably get away with 28. I'm just gonna cut that little piece off. Didn't feel the need to have it there. Okay, so now I am, again, just to be safe, I'm going to tie it one more time, make sure I have it where I want it, and then I'm going to show you how I sandwiched everything together. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So on the back, I know I want it to be pretty much centered, and I'm going to use some two-sided tape, grab some, to help hold the ribbon in. Everything's going to get glued together. I think that's approximately the center. So just burnish that down. Now I left mine tied just because when I don't, it seems to slide on me, but I'm just going to slide it back over here and just kind of get it with the tape. And then I am going to put another piece just over the top like that. Whoa, cut that one too long. Just stick it down here. And again, just make sure it's stuck well. Peel it up, and then we will use just the regular glue on the paper. Try to turn it the way I want it. Okay, so I'm gonna just add glue really well along the edges and then all over the back. I wish I could remember what I was trying to tell you guys before I got on the tangent about the power being out. Did anyone else lose power? We had some pretty severe thunderstorms last night in the area. A lot of people lost trees. There were pictures in our neighborhood of people's, like, that had their cars parked in their driveways, the trees just, you know, falling, and just really a lot of damage. So far, we've not heard of any people being injured, so that's good. Just property damage. Okay. Turtle, turtle, turtle. Happiness. All right. So now we open this one up. We have a little pocket. And so this is where I haven't glued this one together or put anything in it yet. But, you know, we could put the little baby sea turtles there if we want to. This is where, on this one, I did a flip. Oh, yeah, I added a pocket. We'll do that. We'll add a pocket. I'm going to decorate this flip a little bit. I love how I did this one. I wanted more of the turtle, so I just cut it and then layered some of those faux stamps. And then we'll decorate these up some, too. Okay, that's what we're going to do because I want to decorate some. All right. So there was the page with the faux stamps had two strips like this, and they're a little tall. So I just have to decide, you know, which portion I want to use. But before I do that, I'm going to grab these pages and pick one to make a pocket for this panel out of. So we haven't used that turtle. He's beautiful too. He would make a cute pocket. He's similar, but not. I think I know what I want to do with this one on the back panel, maybe. So I'm going to keep it out. There's some more of that sea glass. And why don't I do this one just because I haven't used that one and it's got a few other... Well, I don't know. Do I want to bring the purples in at this point? There's so many choices. Maybe we'll use this fella. All right. This fella. So, well, let's just use the trimmer. Let me measure. If I can do it like I did the other one, but this piece needs to be a little under 4 inches wide. So this will make sense in just a second. So let me trim this edge off. And then see, if we go 4, we're going to be right up at his face. So let's go ahead and cut this at 5 inches. And then this will make sense in just a minute, I think. All right, and then how tall do I want the pocket? I think I'm going to make the pocket just above the height of the turtle. Now, this may not work the same way because of the direction of the image. I don't want his head over here and his body over here. So I may just cut a different piece to go on this side. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Sorry, I tried. So I said just under 4 inches. So I'm gonna take just a little here. I don't wanna be too close to his fin. And I'm gonna make it right there. That's gonna be our pocket. And then this one, we're gonna put the faux stamps on, but I also wanna do something to just lay along here. It's not wide enough to cover up the entire section to reinforce this flap. So I want a piece that's 2 3¼ by 5½. So let's just use this. Is it wide enough? Oh, not quite. Not quite. Well, we'll just go with a different piece. All right, that's going to be my inside pocket. We'll just make it be a solid 2¼ And again, I don't really have to layer it. It's just, I liked how the other one felt. So I'm going to do that with this one too. All right, let me get all of these hopefully out of the way. And I am going to round these corners. And it's just going to make that flap nice and sturdy for me. So that's going to go there. And then we're going to put a portion of these stamps just as a strip, or we might even put them in the middle this time. And we're going to put Mr. Turtle right here. I may need to trim him just another sliver. He was a little wide. So if your measurements are off, again, not the end of the world. It's just paper. And I would say sometimes it's more frustrating if you cut it a little short. I'm just going to glue this down like a regular pocket in a U shape with the glue. But even then, I mean, if you have to, you can piece some paper back together and, you know, just make it look like you meant to do that all along. Everything is fixable. I am just having so much fun with these images. I can't even begin to tell y'all. All right. And I'm glad someone else was interested in wanting to see some turtles. I will say, I think this would be a great kit just for like if you had a summer vacation to the beach or something like that, to, again, journal about your vacation or highlight a few memories, that kind of thing, some photos. All right, I am going to just cut this off using my little postage stamp scissors. And I'll probably just, I don't know, I do kind of like it over to the side. So let's just go ahead and round these corners too, so that it'll nestle in there. We'll add a touch of ink. And of course you can cut these all apart. You can do all kinds of things. But I thought it was kind of fun leaving them in a strip and decorating with them. I could have turned this into like a little belly band. And this is a pretty narrow section, but we could have made it, you know, into a tuck spot, something like that. All right. So any of these tags are going to look just too cute in that pocket, and it fits right in there. Okay. We could do a couple if we want to. We're going to put some back there. I think I may do there. They kind of coordinate. That'll be cute. All right, let's see. Let's do the back panel, and then I'm going to show you a trick with some of these larger faux stamps. And you may already know this trick, but I found it helpful to cut them out. Okay. I am going to do just kind of a generous, easy, I wouldn't even really call this a fussy cut, just sort of a wavy cut around this turtle. And I did it as a side tuck in the other one because I used the sand dollar, but I didn't want to cover all of those pretty shells up. So I'm just going to make it another, I may glue it here and not on this side. And we'll have another little sea turtle friend right there. Funness. And that was easy enough. The sand dollar, I really thought fit the size and shape of this little folio well too, and gave us that nice circle image. Okay, and then on this one, again, we can, oh, let's do the seahorse. We can have some of Sea Turtle's friends. And I haven't even used any of these, the fussy cuts. Oh, maybe we'll put one here. I've got flowers, I have shells. Ooh, that's starfish is kind of cute. I don't even think I want to ink it. I think I just want to put it down. It almost looks like a part of this paper. Turn them. Don't want to accidentally glue any part of the pocket closed. All right, there's him. Now, what I did, I think I used one of the stamps on the pocket on the prototype, but we'll use them here. So on these, I used my little postage stamp kind of specialty scissors. But these, if you see, the holes are pretty big. And what I do is I take my hole puncher Crocodile, and it takes a second, but I mean, it's not hard. This one's already a single, but again, if I was cutting these out, you know, it's like a twofer, all right? Now, obviously, this isn't gonna reach all the way in, so I grabbed the big bite and then was able to reach all the holes and went through and cut them all out. And of course, you can do the edges, everything. And if you don't have a Crocodile that will fit, then just cut them out like this, because then any kind of handheld punch that you have should reach to where you need it. And you'll just have to cut, you know, punch each one out. But once you've got them punched, I'm not gonna sit there and watch you make me punch all of these. It is gonna look something like this, right? And then I just was able to carefully cut them out. And you can leave them, depending on what you're using them for, of course, attached together like this. That would be fun on a journaling card or something. I'm gonna cut them apart because I'm gonna pick one for each of these flaps. I don't know yet. But I just thought they were so cute. Now, if you don't want to go to all that trouble, you can just cut them down and ink, or cut them past, you know, cut past where the circles are, or just cut it straight and not worry about it. You could still use the little scissors and not worry about it. Any of those things would work. Okay, this one is horizontal, which is what I kind of want. This one is a vertical orientation, so I may just stick him in there, and I may put him in there. Okay. And then I can either cut another one out, so I can have one on each, or I think I'm just gonna leave the sunset and put this one right here and have the little fishies. The little turtle friends. And again, I don't know how important it is to get glue on each one of those. I think it depends on where in your project it is. But a quick way, if your glue will come out, to spread your glue to get it on each little tiny piece was to just do what I did with the glue. I don't know. Is that an official something to do? I don't know. Oh, I could put a shell. I know, I could just keep going, right? All right, there's a shell. I have some other shells too. I haven't done, that one's, they're all pretty. I love the crab. Oh, we don't have a crab yet, do we? Oh, we got to put a crab on here. We'll put him right there. Why not? I'm like, I just have to keep going. I was also thinking all of these fussy cuts would be so fun just to make some really cute clusters, or even some like 2x2 or 3x3 cards. So cute. Use them for journaling or for little gifts. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just put, whoops, they're upside down. We'll put those babies in there too, just for fun. Whoops. All right. I haven't decorated that flap, but we can just leave it as the beach. Now, I talked about, yeah, this one could take a tab if we wanted to. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but let me just use my whale tab to see. Now, what color? What color is the question? I think I kind of want it to be the colors. I'll just plan to use this in a different way and not as an envelope. And now it will coordinate. You know what? I don't even think I want it. Yeah. It might have looked cute, but I'm going to leave it. I think I like it like this. Let's see what it looks like when I tie the bow. La-di-da, la-di-da. Very sweet. Okay. So let me grab the prototype, and this one we'll take a quick peek and I'll let you guys go. Prototype. Where are you? All right, this one has the seam binding, and it's this one, the little sea turtle's kind of facing down, or I guess you could look at it like this until you open it up. I think that's why I oriented that one that way. But let's open it up. It opens like this. There's a lovely pocket. It opens, pocket, journaling spot, lovely tabs, and another pocket. Cuteness, right? It just makes me very happy. And then the back has this lovely turtle too. All right, I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to make one. Again, use whatever envelopes or paper you have. It's sure to be fun. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.